Who knows? You might end up in a room having your leg cut off and you were only supposed to be in there for a small, minor thing. Oh, sorry. My mistake. Our mistake. But what if they happen to give you something that they shouldn't give you and that ends up killing you? And then the family wants to sue. Devil doesn't care how he kills you. He doesn't care about the millions of dollars as long as he kills you, especially if you're not saved. You spend eternity in hell. That was worth $1 million. That was worth the lawsuit to take your soul to hell. Devil's playing for keeps, people. He doesn't care about money. Just recently, Ron Paul asked Bernanke a few years ago. He said to Bernanke, he said, "What is your definition of money?" And Bernanke gave him something, and he says, "Well, what is gold?" He says, "Why don't we say that what measures money is gold?" And Bernanke didn't say anything, and he said, "Well, why don't we just replace gold with diamonds?" And Bernanke said, "Well, I think it's because of tradition." Well, Bernanke knows that gold hasn't backed the dollar since 1930s. So what's backing the money today, people? If they can print money out of thin air and you have a lawsuit against them, you think them giving millions of dollars to these black families cost them anything? They just printed out of thin air. Guess who paid those black people those millions of dollars? That's right. Came out of your blood, sweat, and tears. You're the one that footed that bill. The taxpayer pays everything today. It's the taxpayers that pay everything. How do they pay? By money? No. By their blood, sweat, and tears. That's right. So understand, it's not money. Nothing to do with money. Money's just the illusion. That's why there's no gold today. Yeah, you say Texas wants their $1 billion worth of gold back. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't exist. When Texas finds out their gold has been taken, been confiscated, they're going to be pretty upset. When Germany finds out, finally, when they push hard enough to find out where the gold is, and they find out, well, when they finally say to them, "Hey, we don't have your gold." Well, you said you had our gold. Yeah, we don't have it. Can you imagine what's going to happen? You talk about World War III coming. They're even talking right now with Russia, working with Texas in a secession. Texas wanting to separate themselves from the Union of the United States of America. Start their own repository. Making their own gold. Start their own. That's what's being talked. That's what's on the table right now, people. Well, why all this gold is being confiscated? It says in the Bible, people will throw their gold and silver in the street. It says the gold will be removed. It says the silver will be cast into the streets. Very soon your silver will be worth nothing. And the gold, even under one of the presidents, I believe it was maybe Eisenhower, I don't remember which president it was, but anyway, one of the presidents actually confiscated all the gold coins. Everybody that had gold coins had to turn them in. You don't think that they can confiscate all the world's gold? Now, here's the kicker. Why do they want all the gold? Have you ever wondered where all this gold is going? I know where it's going. It's to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. They're preparing for the Antichrist. Do you know how much gold they need? The walls of the temple of Solomon's temple were pure gold. That's just the walls. And I don't remember how thick the gold was. You're talking about the temple, how much gold? I forgot how many trillions of dollars in gold it took. It was an astronomical amount of gold to build the temple. They're going to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. They're bringing everything together right now. They got their red heifers. They're building their furniture. They're building everything's being put together. They're putting their Sanhedrin together. They're putting together. Everything's being put together right now for the Antichrist. You got Jonathan Cahn telling people that God is going to reign from the Temple Mount, which is a lie. That's the Antichrist. That the Temple Mount is where the temple is going to be built. And they need that gold to rebuild the temple. That's why 9/11 took place, because they robbed all that gold that was in the down underneath the Twin Towers. That's why the Fort Knox is empty. That's why there's no gold in Manhattan right now. That's why all Germany's gold and all the gold from Texas, that's why all this gold is gone right now. Because they're using it to rebuild the temple. God revealed that to me. You say, well, why is it so important for them to rebuild the temple? Because those that are the synagogue of Satan that call themselves Jews, they don't care about money. They don't even really care altogether about, even in a sense, they don't even really care about pleasures of this life as far as what this world can offer. They're interested in reigning with the Antichrist, reigning with Lucifer on this earth, because Lucifer has deceived them into believing that they can reign with him. Not knowing they're reigning with the Antichrist. They're going to reign with the beast for a short time, very short time. But they are the ones that are confiscating the gold. What does it say in the scripture, people? It says the gold shall be removed. Doesn't say they're going to throw their gold in the streets. It's going to be removed. Rebuilding the temple. Preparing the temple for the Antichrist. That's what everything is about right now. That's what this whole thing is about. All of it. Everything. And so the money that everyone is running on right now is fiat. It's not even real. They're printing it out of thin air. And that's why they keep doing the quantitative easing. That's why they keep doing I think we're at Q4 right now. QE4. Well, they'll just go to 5 and 6 and 7. Keep inflating the economy. Why do they want to do that? Why are they doing that? They're going to raise the taxes. They're imprisoning the people, enslaving the people, while the people are actually building the temple. Did you know that? The world right now, slavery, rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem. Yeah, Pharaoh, under slavery, got them to build his pyramids. Right now, those that call themselves Jews, who are the synagogue of Satan, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds, that believe they are the bloodline of David, which they believe that Jesus had relation with Mary Magdalene, and the offspring of Jesus, that they are the seed of the offspring of Jesus, the physical bloodline of Jesus, and that they are the royal seed to take over the whole earth. They believe that they're going to rule the world, and that the temple that's being built in Jerusalem, where the Antichrist is going to reign from, it's the whole world that's building that temple right now. You say, how are they doing it? How are they doing it? Money is just an illusion. They're trying to keep you busy. They're trying to distract you while they're building the temple. How are they building it? Obviously, it's not money that builds a temple, right? So how do you build a temple? What is it that builds a temple? Well, it takes strength, right? It takes ingenuity. It takes craftsmen. It takes masons. Oh, masons. Masons? Oh. Bonesmen? Masons? The Masons? Interesting. The Masons. What do Masons do? They build. They're known as the architects. Are you listening, people? The architects. That's why they've got the, their symbol for the Masons is a square. It's a measurements and has to do with building tools. Why? Rebuilding the temple for the Antichrist. See, God, his temple is his people. Satan's temple is being rebuilt in Jerusalem by those that call themselves Jews. The whole world today is working towards that end, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. The cross, just a symbol of witchcraft.